Okay, hello, hi, welcome back to the Healing Girl Chronicles. It is I, and I am back with another video. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you very much and welcome back. So this is a channel where we chronicle truth, healing, and becoming. So, one of the things that I want to speak about today is showing up, being seen, and honoring your humanness. So, for the longest time in my life, before I started my healing journey 7 years ago, I was a person who was consumed about what people think about her. I think I've said this in my previous videos that I had the disease to please and I was sick because my whole kind of existence like revolved around pleasing people, making people happy with me, making people like me, making people love me, all of these things where I just wanted validation and approval from people. So when I started my healing journey 7 years ago, I hadn't anticipated the demolition of that kind of mindset because healing went against every narrative, of people pleasing. Healing allowed me to speak my truth. Healing allowed me to be vulnerable. Healing allowed me to be my authentic self. Healing allowed me to speak about the things that I'd been hiding for the longest time. Healing allowed me to show up as who I am, regardless of the backlash, regardless of the negative opinions and reactions from people. And that's exactly what I got. The minute I started speaking my truth, the minute I started honoring my truth and I started asking questions and I wanted answers, I became enemy number one. I became a problematic person. I was mislabeled as crazy, disrespectful, problematic, an issue. You're the one that's the problem, not the fact that our family is dysfunctional and toxic, but I'm the problem because I'm the one who's actually being honest about the dysfunction and the toxicity. And because of that, it caused me to kind of, doubt my healing journey. It felt more of like a curse because why couldn't I just keep suppressing my emotions? Why did I have to come to a point where I had to like remove myself from the collective narrative that is my family, my friends, my community? And because of that, I couldn't handle the negativity that I received. And that caused me to be reclusive. It caused me to not want to be seen. It caused me to not want to to interact with others because for the most part I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I couldn't handle my humanness, because I'd walked the path of perfection for such a long time. Any kind of mishap to me, I couldn't see that as me being human, but I saw that as like the worst atrocity ever done. Not understanding that there's a source to, certain things and how we behave. We just don't fly off the handle, or we just don't respond in a certain way out of nowhere. And so I had to come to a point where I had to understand that my healing journey is for me, it's not for any other person. And whether they agree, disagree, are in alignment, are in agreement, that has nothing to do with me because I am the only one who knows the experience of my life. And another thing with healing that happens is that once you start questioning things, people want to tell you about the life that you lived. People want to gaslight you into believing and thinking that your recollection of things or your experience of things is false. And that's not true because you're the only one who's had an experience in your body. You're the one who knows what actually happened to you, and no one can come and claim that they know better than you. And that's what I found a lot in my healing journey, that people would want to correct the narrative that I had, and people would want me to think along the way that they remembered things when it was in total opposition to how I remembered things. So therefore not wanting to be seen, not wanting to be labeled, not wanting to be, characterized as this person who's problematic. And for me, my healing journey has caused me to kind of look back and just understand how suppression like cost me a lot in my life, and that being seen and speaking your truth is okay, and that it's okay if people don't agree with you, especially the people that around us that we want to agree with us or validate us. Is that sometimes that's never the case, you'll find other people who will resonate with you. You'll find other people who you'll find affinity to and with, and I find that has been my experience with the many people that I have come across in my healing journey, whom when they share their stories, when they share their experiences, I feel an innate understanding with them. I feel a almost love with them. I just love them instantly because I understand what it took for them to even say certain things, to even come out and be brave with certain things. I understand what it takes because I understand the backlash that you receive as a person when you speak the truth, and how people tend to view you, and the smear campaigns that go around, about you and stuff like that, and having the power and the strength to stand against that, and still stand firm in who you are, what your truth, and don't allow yourself to cower, in the face of opposition, because that's also another thing, when you heal, you come against a lot of opposition, and just having the courage to stand against that is, to me, just the deepest demonstration of strength, And so I come on here because I feel like I am showing myself actively that I don't care what people think about me. I am coming on here because I'm doing something that terrifies me. I'm scared of doing this. Every time I need to take out these videos, I am worried, I'm trembling, I am shaking, I am just, so fearful. But I do it anyway because it's my truth, it's my experience, it's me honoring myself, and me also understanding that I don't need anyone's agreement, and that my account of things is sufficient, it's enough. I don't need a somebody to give validation to what I'm saying. And so yeah, I think that's just what I want to share, is that in healing you're gonna come against opposition. In healing you're gonna feel like your recollection of things is maybe incorrect, or people will want you to think that your recollection of things is incorrect. Fight against that, don't allow that, and show up. Show up even when you are scared. Show up even when you don't want to. Show up even in places where previously you wouldn't want to. Like for me, this is just an act of rebellion. This is an act of a defiance. This is an act and a big F you to the old self, to my old self that wants to keep me in places, spaces, and around people that would rather have me suppressed than be honest, So this is just me being honest. This is just me honoring myself, like I said. And this is just me giving maybe hope to someone out there, to say that it's okay. Like, you just show up. You don't have to show up perfect. You don't have to be prim and proper. You don't have to, have everything figured out. Just show up, A lot of times we see people when they've got everything figured out. Seldomly do we actually get to see the process, So I'm just showing you the process of how healing is working itself out in my life, and certain things that I'm coming into realization about, and certain knowledge that I'm coming into, and just sharing that with someone, and just being brave, being courageous, being just removing the shackles, that I've allowed others to place on me, and also removing myself from the self-imposed prison that I've put myself under about what will they say, what will they think, oh my god, like I can't do that anymore, I'm not doing that anymore. And this is me just saying that, not saying, but actively putting into action that I don't care what people think. Like, I don't care, I don't care. And because I have cared, and caring has been detrimental to me, so I'm choosing not to care. Not to say that I don't have emotions and I don't get affected. I do, of course, I'm human. But I have to weigh, at the end of the day, who's more important, me or other people, what they think or what I think about myself. Because when it's all said and done, nobody's gonna come up and build me up and help me, figure out the the rubble of my life, or help me work out or work through the rubble of my life. Only I'm going to do that, and only I'm going to do that, and with God, and with the desire to actually get better, so yeah, that's just what I wanted to share. Be you, honor yourself, and show up even when you're scared to do so. Just do it. See what happens. Bye.